Welcome to Bonsai Druid. I'm Suzy. This is a walkthrough of my dormant side storage for my trees. We're looking at the staghorn sumac. I think it's the larger of the two. You can see that its buds have swollen since the last time I viewed it a couple weeks ago, and it's looking really good. The buds are swelling, the branches are hairy like they usually are. I'm hoping for good things out of this tree. The one next to it here is just a wild elm that I pulled out that was near my pond. It has also got buds on the very tips, and some of the other buds are greening up down along the branches, and hopefully they will be opening up soon. It's going to need a pruning, but I'm going to wait until it gets fully leafed out and gets a good start before I bother. All the branches are the same size. Over here we have my Illinois everbearing mulberry tree. This needs a pruning, but it's waiting till after it fruits and flowers and the leaves come out. This is the corkscrew hazel. Uh, one branch was left really, really long. It's got to get trimmed back now, but it was pretty dramatic last summer. This thing almost bonsais itself. It just grows all these crazy directions. Kind of just have to kind of go through and weed things out to select what you want to keep and to maintain a generalized shape. But the catkins formed like they always do, and they are flowering, so now they're producing a bunch of pollen. As you can see here, all of this yellow dust that comes off, every one of these catkins will emit a whole bunch of yellow dust. If it's breezy or if I shake it like I just did to disturb it, it will do that. Um, but it looks so dramatic. This one over here is probably 3 in 1 pot of black currant. Something that a friend gave me so I can see if I can bonsai it, what I can do with it. It's leafing out on its tips and the buds are definitely swelling. It's a very vigorous shrub type plant. So I'm looking forward to getting it out of the pot and seeing what's going on with it. The branches are already very stiff. I think this would maybe be more of a clip and grow. I'll have to see how it goes with any new growth. See how soft or flexible it is. But these ones are not very flexible. This is again the root base of the contorta. I'm mainly focusing on this tree getting a good root system. It was disastrous when I got it. It was badly coiled in upon itself, so my main goal is to try and fix the root base of that tree. These styrofoam cups have little oaks in them that a friend gave me. None of them are doing anything yet, but it might just be a little too early for these oaks to get going. I want to repot them, but I was kind of hoping for a little sign of some life from them before I did. They are in a very natural, mulchy, peaty type of soil. This is a small elm. I have a few just random small elms growing for never know when you need one. This is my redwood forest, dawn redwood. You can see all the big chops that were made on the top. This is going to be first in line for trimming and prepping it to go outside for the spring. I've got to remove a lot of these buds so that the energy is put towards the buds and directions that I need the most rather than just randomly everywhere. Trying to clean up that redwood tree, redwood forest. It's desperately in need of proper primary branching. So you can see that in my hand I'm holding, it's blurry, but the tips of this dawn redwood, they have green buds on the ends. But the branches are horrific. This is just a couple of river birch that also are not ready to wake up yet. Their buds are doing nothing. But this redwood branch here has just gangbusters of buds. Tons of buds. Look at all of them. And I don't even need this branch. These are all probably wasted. So that's the way it goes. Redwood's very vigorous. But someday it'll look great, but it's got a lot of fixing to do. You can see how they heavy these branches are for as high up as they are. But see, I've got that little bud, so I'll be using that and taking off that big branch to get better proportion. Most of this tree's problem is proportion and lack of other trees. At least two of the group this originally had died, so I'm down to 4, which is not the greatest lucky number, so I've got some young ones I'm looking for to add to the group and make it a slightly larger forest. But it's definitely showing some signs of vigor and lots of budding, but some branching that's just gone completely in the wrong direction. I don't know why that's growing up like that. There's a top to one. These other tops, where I cut them, they didn't do anything. There's been no new budding or anything there. That's a problem for another year. This one's got some taper, but I don't like the top. We'll see what happens. Moving over here, we have, again, look at these river birch, but their buds aren't doing anything yet. Another slow starter, maybe. Behind them, you can see the base of, now we're going to go over to this one. This is the small grove of elms. I twisted the trunks up a little bit with some wire last year. They're buried in just a mix and mash of random soils that I had left over. So someday this will get a repot, but for right now, they're just developing some roots and hanging out with each other, hopefully communicating here in this little grove that they're all a part of. This little guy right here is behind this, in this little square pot, another elm. Maybe someday will become a part of this grove, or maybe be his own tree. This is root cutting. I forgot what it's of, but I don't think it's doing anything. And then this up here is a linden. Never had a linden before. Not really. The buds might be swelling a little bit. Not really much. But this over here is the blueberry, and it is going crazy. It is flowering. It is leafing. It's got all the things. This little bit of wire isn't biting into it yet, so I'm leaving it. This is a clump style that I am growing. It's got at least 1 or 2 sacrificial branches still attached to it to help make this a nice base, increase the thickness of some of the base. And this is the base of the hazelnut, which is also budding out. All of these branches have buds. All the branches have buds. There's buds along the trunk. I'm real happy with the amount of budding going on. So a little worried putting this big of a clump in this basket of originally pumice, and now it's a mix of pumice and bonsai soil and then a little extra organic material. But so far so good. I'm looking forward to this tree. I'm really expecting good things. This small pot here holds 1 of 2 American elms that I have going on. This is the smaller of the 2. It has buds opening. I'm very excited about that. I'm hoping this one will end up being in the typical vase shape that natural American elms do. I would really like this to look like the actual American elms in their normal growth habit. The second American elm is longer. It has a thicker base, but this one kind of is straighter, more straight up and down, with these branches kind of at the right angles for a vase shape. So that's what I'm striving for. I don't often have desires for the shapes, but that one I do. This is the base of the other elm. A little bit thicker. It's in a bigger basket. I want it to grow more roots. I'd like it to grow thicker. The branches come up higher. Most of its branching is thicker than the other one, and then it arcs over. That arcing over part may need to be cut off. This part up here, it comes all the way up and over by, and this thing gets outside, that might be a liability, so I may trim this back. and let it just grow up again as I try to get the trunk to be thicker. But that one's not really showing any signs of budding yet. The other one is, so I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe it's just being slow. But the buds aren't really showing any sign of swelling on this one. This is another angle, the opposite side of the hazelnut clump. These two branches are almost a match. They come up and then each one forks, 1 and 2. Then the other 3 lie farther away. But I don't know, man. If I chop these like tops at different heights, I might get something interesting. This base may grow together. I don't think it can be separated now. It's already grown together at the base underneath the soil, so I don't think I'm going to try to separate it. It wants to be together. And then this is the back side of my Dawn Redwood Forest. And now we're looking at the base of the second of my Staghorn Sumacs. This one has more bend in the trunk, a little more curviness. You can definitely see the swelling of the buds here. They're changing color a little more, becoming a little more golden rather than pale. You can see the hairs. The only thing I am still waiting to find out is how this will actually form branching rather than just leaf branchlets. This is the first one we looked at from the back side, and you can see those buds are like getting a little more of a golden color. They're standing away from the trunk a little more rounded. Still has the old growth leaves on it though. Or like last year's dead leaves. And this is another angle of the base of that hazelnut clump. The 2 largest are definitely welded together. There's 2 more and then a sucker. Sucker may be able to be removed. This blueberry is looking very promising. Looking forward to that.